Good evening. It is Friday evening. I know it's a little bit early, but it has been a long 2 days, and as you can see, I have made it back to my own sweet little house. The conference that we went to yesterday and today was awesome. I can't give you a whole lot of details, but just as soon as we can, we will be glad to. It's something that we're really excited about, but we've got to work some things out before we tell you a lot. But I will tell you that it has the potential to make a big difference in a lot of people's lives. And I hope you'll pray with us over this. And when the time comes, I hope if it's something that you're interested in doing, you'll be glad to come alongside of us. It was awesome. It really was. And I will say this: the conference was held in the City of Joy. I think that's correct. City of Hope, excuse me. City of Hope, which used to be the Cancer Treatment Center of America there in Newnan, and the City of Hope, I don't know if they bought them out or they're partnering with them or something, but anyway, that is an excellent facility. And I would pray nobody ever has to use it, but I would look into that if I needed. I'm not saying that the cancer center in Montgomery and Prattville, and I'm not saying they're not good, but this is another option you need to look into if you're in that situation. They just, everything about them was excellent. Everything about them. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So tonight we're going to finish reading chapter 1 of the Revelation of John. And it's, I don't know, looks like maybe 10 or 12 verses, but I'm just going to read that. And we're just going to go along. We're going to take Revelation slow, because it can be one of the scariest books in the Bible to read, because there's parts of it that a lot of people are afraid to read it. But we read last night that you are blessed if you read aloud the words, and you're blessed if you hear, and you're blessed if you try to keep what it is that's written in it. So it's a blessing all the way around. So I want to be blessed, and I know you do too. So let's read. This section is called The Vision of the Son of Man. Hold on, let me get this Bible where I can see what I'm doing and not have to move in and out of. There we go. I, John, your brother and partner in the tribulation and the kingdom and the patient endurance that are in Jesus, was on the island called Patmos on account of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus. He was on Patmos because it was like a jail there, a prison there. That's what he was doing there. So he was in prison when he got this vision. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet, saying, "Write what you see in a book, and send it to the 7 churches, to Ephesus, and to Smyrna, and to Pergamum, and to Thyatira, and to Sardis, and to Philadelphia, and to Laodicea." Then I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me, and on turning I saw 7 golden lampstands. And in the midst of the lampstands, one like a son of man, clothed with a long robe and with a golden sash around his chest. Now, some people say that the lampstands represent the pastors or preachers of a church, and I believe that's correct, if I'm remembering correctly. But we'll see that later on. Now, and when it says like a son of man, a lot of times Jesus is referred to as the Son of Man. So we'll see. The hairs of his head were white, like white wool, like snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like burnished bronze, refined in a furnace, and his voice was like the roar of many waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a 2-edged sword, and his face was like the sun shining in full strength. When I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. But he laid his right hand on me, saying, "Fear not, I am the first and the last, and the living one. I died, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Now see, that's saying that's Jesus, the first and the last, the Alpha and Omega. That's what that is. And the living one. I died, and behold, I am alive forevermore. That refers back where we talked about yesterday about the firstborn of the dead. And I have the keys of death and Hades. Now, we'll say this. If you've got the keys to something, that means you've got the authority to use it or open it or enter it or whatever. The only people that have keys to my house are people, is me, really. Now, I have a couple of extra sets where somebody can use them if they need to with my permission. But you can't just use somebody's keys if you don't have the authority, if you don't have that authority. After my dad died, my mom gave me Daddy's house keys. And that was her way. Of course, I knew I could go in anyway, but that was her way of saying, you have permission and authority to come into this house whenever you want to. You don't have to wait to be invited in. You have the authority to go in. So you think about that, the keys. He holds the keys to death and Hades. Right, therefore, the things that you have seen, those that are, and those that are to take place after this. As for the mystery of the 7 stars that you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands, the 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. And you know, another word for angel is a messenger. And the 7 lampstands are the 7 churches. And that's the 7 churches that were mentioned just a minute ago. So we're going to stop there. Tomorrow night we're going to read chapter 2, which is some of the letters, the letter to the church in Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, and Thyatira. That'll be tomorrow night. And then, of course, you know, Sunday we'll have bike church, and then we'll be back at it Monday night. And again, I don't want to read so much in Revelation that it's too much. It's a lot to take in, and there's a lot to consider. There's a lot of imagery in Revelation, and it can be confusing if you try to take too much too fast. So I would rather take it slow and discuss it, and if people have questions, we ask questions and we find out what those questions, what the answers are. Or we say we don't know. We don't know everything that's in the Bible. We don't know. I know y'all can see Scout back. Yeah, that's Scout back behind me. She's trying to decide if she can get in the chair with me. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me tonight. Thank y'all for praying for us while we were on this trip. And just a reminder, the holiday market in Greenville is tomorrow, starting about 10 o'clock, I believe, and runs till mid-afternoon. And that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, there are other things going on, but I plan to be there for a little while anyway, and then we may have some other things going on. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me tonight. And if nothing happens, I will see y'all tomorrow night, and we will read Revelation chapter 2.